we promised you an announcement.
Yeah, we got a little bit of news here for our programming schedule coming up. About a month ago, the Chicago White Sox reached out to us here at 1440 WROK, and we're looking for a Rockford affiliate. They didn't have one at the time, and they got a new some new ownership going on over there, and new people running the show, and wanted to start some new relationships. Talked about it with the brass here, the people far more important than me, and kind of went through the pros and cons of everything, and we came to this decision at the end of it that it made too much sense for us, program-wise, financially-wise, and just and the ability to be Rockford's home of the White Sox, and the only place where you could get White Sox games over the air, because their parent station, AM 1000, the signal doesn't really reach out here. So
not very well.
Not very well. So we are officially making the switch. We'll be the home of the White Sox. I want to thank Chicago Cubs organization and everybody that was in charge over there. It was a pleasure working with them. They were great, and nothing against them at all, or the Cubs or anything like that. This is a nice business decision for us, and things are going to. I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys the White Sox baseball throughout the year. One of the other things that definitely tilted my decision was after the White Sox had come to us and asked us if they wanted to do it. They made an announcement of one of their other programming changes, and a big one for us deciding to do it was Len Casper coming over to the White Sox.
Because that's who you'll hear doing the games.
Former Cubs TV guy doing all the play-by-play for the White Sox. I know I'm very interested in seeing what he's going to do with that. And then
it'll be good, whatever it is he does.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one is when they announced who's going to be doing the pre- and post-game show for all the games. And it's a guy, we've had him on the show before, Connor McKnight. He's a personal friend of mine, and I know he will connect well, especially with our listeners. He's the right kind of guy. You guys are going to love listening to him, and because I do know him and we're good friends, we get to have him on the show maybe occasionally, including right now. And I want to welcome him into the show, your host for pre and post game for the Chicago White Sox that you'll be able to hear right here on News Talk 1440 WROK. Connor McKnight. Connor, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning, fellas. It's a joy to be joining you guys in 1440 having the White Sox. This is a very, very cool announcement. Welcome to the party. It's going to be an awesome summer, I promise you.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And like Joe said, when Joe said that you were part of it, we were thrilled to hear that as well, because we know what a great job you do and how good that's going to sound with you at the helm of the pre and post.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it. We're planning one heck of a product at ESPN 1000. In the phone calls that I've had with Len Casper, a little bit I've talked to Darren Jackson, and everybody over there, from Mike Thomas on down to Ryan McGuire and all the producers over at ESPN 1000. We're creating what I think is going to be a really fun White Sox radio network. What's going to be something that's creative, that has some legs to it. We want to look, and listen, Len Casper is Len Casper. Everyone in Major League Baseball knows who this man is because of the quality broadcast that he does, because of the way he knows the game and the relationships that he's formed. So White Sox fans all over the area getting to hear his voice calling games, and his idea of how baseball works and how it should be presented on the radio is going to be something that I promise you guys, we're going to do some things that not many Major League Baseball radio broadcasts have tried before, and it's going to be a blast. It really will be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the product on the field. I mean, we'll get to that in a second. The White Sox are a rocket ship right now, but it does sound like there's going to be some more fun being had by you guys. What kind of meetings have you guys had about some new stuff you might be bringing to the air?
A lot, actually. Meetings, we are still in the time of COVID, so we haven't all gotten a chance to sit down in the room together, but most of the phone calls start with, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we can all sit down in a room together at some point soon and watch some of these White Sox games. It's everything from how we're going to use the technology that we've all become so accustomed to in order to work around the restrictions that COVID has placed on our everyday lives. We've got some great ideas on how we want to use, things like Twitter and Instagram, TikTok, and even Snapchat, and make sure that content is delivered to White Sox fans, young and old, and make sure that the game that's going to be played at such a high level at 35th and Shields this year is going to be brought to all kinds of different baseball consumers, all kinds of different baseball fans. We want to use radio because, as much as the advanced technology is fun and we've all had to adjust our lives to it, baseball's been on the radio for a really long time. And I'd argue that, I think you guys would probably agree, baseball's a sport that really is made for radio. And when you got a guy like Len Casper, when you got a guy like Jaron Jackson who are going to call these games and describe it for you, there's no better place to be. So we're really leaning into how we're going to present this product, this White Sox product in many different ways, and to a radio listener that's going to sound different and that's going to get you engaged. I think that's the other thing that technology, and I'm sure you guys have leaned into this with your own programming, this technology that we've all been kind of forced to use over the last year has also, in some sort of dark, bright side way, connected us with the listener in a way that maybe we were somewhat reticent to in the past. And we're gonna lean into that quite a bit and make sure that the fans are heard of the broadcast as much as anything else.
Connor, one of the really cool things, although as a lifelong Cub fan, and a huge Len Casper fan, it was sad to see him say, I'm going to hang it up with the Cubs, but I'm going to go over to the White Sox. I'm going to do the radio call. But his discussion of his passion for making that call on the radio, for being in the radio booth, and like you talked about, how long baseball has been on the radio and how much it meant to him, means to him, and how much he's looking forward to it. Speak a little bit to his passion for this, because it was a bittersweet moment, but his passion for what it is he's about to undertake was really, really something to see.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have thrown around their conspiracy theories, all kinds of stuff about moves here and moves there, and I think that's only natural. I mean, baseball is what it is. When trades get made, people have all kinds of Rasputin-like ideas of how things got moved around and players left city to city. But in talking with Len a little bit, and Joe, you know this, we've talked with Len before. We've had conversations with him in our dealings in the past. Riley, I'm sure you have too. Len is a guy who lives his passion. Len's a guy who understands this game, who grew up with listening to Ernie Harwell with the Detroit Tigers, and kind of understanding that he's got a passion for describing baseball on the radio. He's got an acute, very specific passion for a thing in life, and he gets to go live it. I had a phone call with him the other day, not to go too far, telling stories out of school or whatever, but he's just excited. I mean, we're talking about this, we're talking about that, plans here, plans there, and every other sentence or so is just how excited we are to get going and to start this whole journey. It's going to be great, and as you guys have mentioned too, as excited as we are at ESPN 1000 to put a great show together, the White Sox have done more than their end of the bargain in putting a really quality team together, and one that is going to be an absolute blast to watch while they're winning as many games as everybody expects them to win.
What I like about Len too is obviously a diehard baseball fan, but he has a lot of other interests in life, and music is a huge passion of his. He plays in bands, and a smart guy. You have many other interests too as well. How confined to baseball are you guys going to be? We have guardrails on your talk, or have you been talking about maybe be able to expand to other topics? During games, pre and post.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. We want to get the personality of the broadcasters out onto the air as much as the game itself. We understand that that baseball on the radio, that it is a changing medium somewhat, and that the demographics are moving some, and how people consume their sports and their product is changing a little bit. And I think that's a little bit of what I hope to bring to the broadcast as well. I've done talk shows before. I know how to interact with fans. I kind of know what resonates. The zeitgeist of a baseball season is, kind of fleeting at some point. You move from thing to thing to thing to thing as the season goes, and you gotta kind of follow that. Len definitely has his interest. We're talking about everything from music beds coming back from the 6th to all kinds of different things we want to do once the COVID restrictions lift, with fingers crossed and knocking on wood and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I think we'll absolutely bring as much of us into the broadcast as we can, because I know that connects people to it. The way we see the game, we as a baseball fandom, right? Everybody, the way we see the game resonates because it's something we're also connected to and also passionate about.
All right, for the listeners out there, we've been a longtime Cubs affiliate. A lot of Cub fans around the area. The announcement this morning might have been like a cup of cold water being tossed in the face. Connor, do what you can to tell the Cub fans out there why you're going to really enjoy what it is you hear. Not just what you guys are doing, but why this team is going to be a team you're going to want to follow.
Well, no problem. That's actually fairly easy to do.
You only have like 5 minutes, so.
Okay. Sure. All right, start the timer now. Listen, for Cubs fans out there, I understand it. I get it. You've been a fan of one team for a real long time. What the White Sox have done is put together a team that allowed their general manager, Rick Hahn, just yesterday, like literally yesterday, to say that as he sits there, the expectation is to win a World Series. And if they don't, that'll be a disappointing season. You guys know this, but there are approximately, let's say 6 general managers in baseball at the beginning of a season that can legitimately say, we want to win a World Series this year. And this year, Rick Hahn is one of them because of the team the White Sox have put together. Len and I talked about this when I first took the job doing White Sox Weekly on the network. I asked him for a comp to White Sox center fielder Luis Robert. And Len, of all people, kind of struggled to come up with a comp. He got it eventually because he's Len Casper and he's a brilliant, brilliant baseball man. But Luis Robert is a singular talent, a guy with all kinds of potential and top-end abilities in center field for the White Sox. There's Tim Anderson. There's Jose Abreu. These guys are exciting. There's bat flips. There's attitude. There's desire and passion. Lucas Giolito is one of the top 10 pitchers in baseball, and given, I'm kind of a baseball nerd when it comes to this thing, given some of the projection systems, there's room for him to yet grow. The White Sox, like a lot of teams, have a bunch of guys coming back from some injuries, some COVID concerns, and Michael Kopech's name is still there among one of the top prospects in baseball, despite having not pitched because of sitting out last year with COVID and Tommy John the year before. He's set to return at some point. So even though the White Sox will field this team that's expected to win something like, the division, they'll also have this, ridiculous secret weapon in Michael Kopech that will come up at some point and infuse more excitement at that time in the season. There's a whole bunch of things to look forward to, not the least of which is the fact that, if we're all allowed to go back to ballparks at some point soon, Guaranteed Rate Field is a heck of a place to watch a game, and there's food up and down the concourse. Sometimes it's difficult for me to get to the seat for the pregame show to start because I've been, trying to find a root beer float and a hamburger for the third time in the afternoon. But that's my problem, and I won't burden anybody with it.
Hey, you know about the elotes over there, right?
Oh, dude, come on.
Okay, all right.
Come on. Do I know about the elotes? And I'll even, just for you guys, here's how you do the elotes. You go first, as soon as you get in there, right? You got your seats. But what you do is you go all the way up to the top of the very top deck because you're beating the crowd. And the elotes is going to have a line when we get back to business. Go all the way to the top, grab the elotes from the dude at the very foul pole, left field, right field, doesn't matter, then come back down to the seats. Not only are you there early, you got the elotes, and you got a ball game started in like 5 minutes. It's the way to do it.
It sounds like a winning combination all through.
It works out. Well, Connor, I'm excited. There's 1,000 reasons to be excited. I think the product in the field is going to be excellent. Like you said, World Series are basically bust right now for the White Sox, and just the product that you guys are doing over there, I think it's going to be different, and I think it's going to be innovative. I think it's going to be fun, and I think it's going to be interactive. And I'm happy to be able to bring that to WROK. So thanks for coming on, and thanks for the White Sox for joining us, man.
Yeah, dude, I'm a fan too. I'm really looking forward to hearing you do this. I know you're going to be great.
Thanks, fellas. My pleasure. Looking forward to talking with you this season.
All right.
I'll text you. We'll have you back on.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good.
All right. Little on-air programming. Connor McKnight, he's going to do a terrific job with the pre- and post-game. Listen, Cub fans, I don't expect everybody back there hearing what the announcement was this morning to embrace it.
No, because you didn't embrace it.
No,
you didn't. When I knew it was coming. I knew when I told you, you had the look, and I went, all right. I said that's the appropriate look. I said that's fine. I said, but let's X, Y, Z. Here's why we're doing this.
Sure.
We're the only place you can find it here in town.
Right.
And it's going to be fine. It took about I think 10 minutes for you to wrap your head and go, okay.
Yeah, we got to do what we got to do. There's economics involved, and of course, you can't fight those. And you got one team with a substantially better chance of giving you some long-term entertainment rather than short-term.
Very short right now.
So, but once again, Cub fans, I totally track where you're coming from on this one. Those of you who are already deciding you're going to send us a note on that one,
feel free.
Just, keep it under control. Because really, you get really nasty. We don't end up reading the whole thing and you get deleted.
Or it gets forwarded around the building.
Building. Look at what this clown had to say. Yeah. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. And give it a chance. Connor's going to be great. Of course, Len Casper is going to be spectacular. We're looking forward to it.
The product's going to be really cool. And like I said, this is an exciting team.
Yeah, they bomb out, though. This is all on you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
This is all on you.